up, Friar Faithful? What a night last night, huh? Man, if you went to the game, leave a comment. I want to know what you thought about the game last night, what your experience was like. For me, man, it was awesome. I had a really good time last night. Something about it, I don't know what was going on. I think there was 44,000 people there last night, which is another sellout. I think that was number 43. But the energy last night was a little bit different. It just felt like it was higher than normal. It looked more packed as well. I got there a little bit before the game started, just barely. They were still doing the induction ceremony, which I'll talk about in a bit. But they were still doing that, but the park just seemed filled. And usually, it's a little bit slower. People get there a little bit later, I think. But I don't know if it was because of the induction last night or what, but it was packed by the time I got there. And I missed the thing that they have on Fridays, Party in the Park. I keep missing that. I keep getting there late. So I gotta make sure I leave the house even earlier. I take the trolley to the games, my peeps, and I love it. I live very close to the trolley station. I live right here in Encanto. I jump on the 62nd Street trolley station. It just takes me like probably 15 minutes to get to the game. It's a really good experience. It's $5 round trips. I mean, you can't beat it. So, but yeah, the energy was hyped last night. People were fired up. One of the things when I take the trolley, I come in from one end of the park, so I have to kind of, depending on where I'm sitting at, but I needed to walk over to Gallagher Square. Or last night was, Snellzilla Bobblehead Day, baby. Check them out. This guy's little tail right here. Woo. And so yeah, they had these last night. This was not a giveaway. You had to buy it with your ticket. It was a theme gate package, which I think a lot of fans are kind of confused about. They don't really understand how that works. And the only way you kind of know about it is if you go on the website. So it's a little tricky. Well, actually, no, they promote it, but it's not a giveaway. So most fans don't really know about it. I knew about it. I pay attention to the theme games, and I try to purchase the ones that I'm interested in. There's a couple I've missed out on that I wasn't kind of sure about. I was on the fence of whether I should do it or not, and you can also buy extra ones. So these you can get more than one. I think you can buy up to 4, and the extras are $20 a piece. So if you see these going on eBay, they're going to be up above $20 if you want to buy one if you didn't go to the game. Which is, people do that. I thought about it last night, and I was just like, I don't have the money right now to be trying to buy and sell stuff on eBay. I was just like, I'm over it. So I only bought the one that comes with your ticket. Yeah, so awesome game. So let's get into this induction ceremony. Jake Peavy, pitcher for the Padres back in the early 2000s. I want to say 2002 to 2007, somewhere around there. He was inducted into the Padres Hall of Fame. So they're going to be putting a plaque for him at the stadium. And then also former owner John Moores. He was also the owner around that time, I think up until 2012, I believe, is when he owned the team. And he seems like a really cool dude. I mean, he was on the broadcast last night with Don and Mud, and he was just chopping it up with them too. And he seemed like a really down-to-earth kind of guy. So it seemed like, cool dude. Glad to know he was a good owner, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame last night. So that was pretty awesome. So you had the Snellzilla bobblehead, you had the induction last night, which was sweet. But then the game, I mean, that was like the icing on the cake. I was sitting, I think, in section 233 last night, which was pretty decent seats. I like those seats. They're great seats for evening games, the sunsets. I mean, it's just very nice right there. And the crowd was hyped. A couple drunk people next to me, but they were chill, so that was funny. It seemed like a bunch of college students were next to me too, because these fools would not stay in their seats. I mean, they were up and down, I guess they were getting beer and snacks and stuff, but they just could not stay seated. And my whole section, I feel like people just kept coming and going, but it was mostly this group of like younger 20-something-year-olds that just could not stay in their seats, and they just kept getting up, which is a little annoying after a while, but it was cool. So had fun. I went solo. I usually go solo to the games. Sometimes me and my wife go, so, or my stepson, so, or a friend, whoever. I just go with people sometimes. So let's talk about this game, last night's game. So Musgrove was on the mound. 0 earned runs on Musgrove last night. So I didn't even realize this, but Joe Musgrove, number 44, the reason why he wears that number is because that was Jake Peavy's number. And if you know about the Padres, Joe's from San Diego, so he grew up watching the Padres, grew up a Padre fan, and idolizing Jake Peavy. So that was why he chose number 44. So it was another special night because Joe was pitching, Peavy was in the stands, Peavy was getting inducted, and Joe was on the mound. On top of that, the last time Joe was pitching against the Rangers was when he got a no-hitter. That was back in 2021. I can't believe it's been that long already. It's been 2 years. April of 2021, Joe Musgrove pitched a no-hitter, no Joe against the Texas Rangers, and he faced him again tonight. And he 0 earned runs against the Rangers. The Padres ended up winning this game 7-0. 7-1. It would have stayed 7-0, but you bringing your stanky ass Luis Garcia, who I cannot stand. I wish they would get rid of this guy. I have no idea why Bomel or uses him. I have no idea why AJ Preller hasn't gotten rid of this guy. So yeah, so that was, again, just all these things just kind of came together last night. So that was pretty sweet. All right, so let's get into the rest of this game. So Kim Still's second base, which I was a little nervous about because last time he did that, he got out. But this time he stole the base. He didn't get caught. This was on a Tatis strikeout, so it kind of overshadowed Tatis striking out. And Tatis struck out pretty damn hard. He went down to the ground on that strikeout. I mean, this guy, Tatis, he swings at a lot. And he needs to work on not swinging at every single freaking pitch. Oh, but because Kim stole that base, when Soto hit a double, which was a very nice line drive double, Soto smashed the ball, Kim was actually able to score, and he barely scored. He got his hand in there and scored, which was awesome. So that made the game 1-0. Next time Padres score was when Grisham came in. The bases are loaded. Machado, I was hoping we would get a freaking grand slam last night. That would have been amazing, but we didn't get it. But bases were loaded. Machado hits a sacrifice fly, and Grish scores. 5th inning, Tatis comes up to bat. This guy just wants to hit homers. He wants to smash the ball. He didn't get to play for an entire year. He is just trying to make up for lost time. This guy will freaking swing. I kind of like that about him, but at the same time, I think he needs to be a little bit more patient. But anyways, he hits a home run, barely. The ball hit the top of the wall and then bounced out. So, a foot less and there probably would have been a double, but he gets it out of the park, which was awesome. I was sitting in 200. He hits it to opposite field to the right, and I couldn't even see the home run because it was just you could barely see where I was sitting at. I couldn't see it. So I had to see it on the big screen. But that was pretty sweet. And then, so that was a 1-run home run. The next run was by Cronenworth. He scores on a pop fly that Sanchez hit that should have been an out, but I think it was an error, but they ruled it a double. Sanchez hits a pop fly to left field, and the Texas Rangers, they just lack of communication, and neither outfielder catches the ball, which was kind of funny. Blooper, but they didn't rule it an error. They ruled it a double. Cronenworth scores on that. There was another funny play by Machado. There was another funny play. Machado hits, doesn't get out, and so 2 runs score. And then a third run scores, but Machado gets caught between first and second and gets out. So that nullifies that third run. He does bring in 2 runs, but he got tagged out between first and second. So it would have been nice if he would have been safe, if he would have stayed on first. When they threw the ball home, he did try to run for second, and then he got thrown out. So kind of funny base running there, but again, he didn't think it was going to be fair, out. But it wasn't, and so we scored 2 runs. The third run didn't count because Machado got out. Now the 7th inning, Martinez is on the mound. He did a really good job. I like Martinez. He's good in these situations. Sometimes he's not so good, but these high leverage situations, I think he does okay. Way better than freaking Luis Garcia, who I wish we would just get rid of this guy. Martinez is on the mound. Rangers hit a line drive towards left field. Machado snatches it, lays down, throws the ball to first base from his butt, and gets the guy out at first. I think it was a bounce to first, but he was on the ground when he threw that ball. That was amazing. I was like, wow, the crowd went wild. This was in the 7th inning. I mean, we're winning 7-0, but still, it was an amazing play. Right away, people compared it to Ken Caminetti, which I saw a replay of, and Caminetti did the same thing. He threw a guy out from his butt or his back from third base to first, but he threw a gun. That replay I saw of Caminetti, he gunned that ball to first base. Didn't bounce there. That ball had speed on it. So I was like, damn, this dude, if you see pictures of Caminetti, he's pretty buff, dude. So, yeah, he was roiding. I was like, nah, there's no way this guy was throwing that ball like that. So, yeah, Machado, no roids, threw him out at first base. So that was a pretty awesome play. And then the saddest part of this game, was the end, the 9th inning. We were winning 7-0. And that's the kind of lead you need when you have Garcia on the mound, because this guy sucks, man. He wastes no time in loading the freaking bases, I think twice. And, they score a run, and then he finally gets 3 outs. But I was super nervous. I was like, this guy Garcia, man, why do we have this guy still? Like, we have so many other people in the bullpen that are better than him. There's a couple guys that are just as bad. Like, I want to say Adrian Morejon is probably just as bad, but he's probably even better than Garcia. But this guy Garcia, he's just no good. I have no idea why we still play him. I wish we would get rid of him. Hopefully we can get another reliever in the trade before the trade deadline, so we can freaking can Garcia, and we can get rid of Carpenter too. Which, I don't know, that's a little more complicated. I think he has a 2-year contract, so it's going to cost some money for that. But, yeah, if we can get one more bat and one more reliever, Padres are going to go all the way, baby. Let's go. Thanks for watching. Stay faithful. Friday faithful. Let's go, baby. Boom. Yu Darvish on the mound today. Let's do this. We need to win this series. We need to sweep. But if we can win the series, I'll take it. Let's go.